6. F5. 27. Re 14. 1, 5. 20. 6. Furthermore, God wanted priests who could have children to succeed them. The law provided, however, that such a defective person could eat of the holy things provided for the sustenance of the priesthood. 21. 21, 22. For similar reasons, an animal having its testicles squeezed, crushed, cut off, or pulled off could not be offered up as a sacrifice. 22. 24. Compare Mal 1. 6-8. 1p1. 19. On this account the Israelites did not castrate their animals, for the law required that all domestic animals slaughtered for food be brought to the sanctuary to be killed and eaten as a communion offering. The same law applied in the Promised Land for those who did not live far off from Jerusalem. 17. 3-5. 12. 20-25. The law further read, no man castrated by crushing the testicles or having his male member cut off may come into the congregation of Jehovah. 23. One such o textoi acute miritra longo, there bears 1089 way the marriage could still be fruitful, her husband's family line being carried on through it. In the case of the Christian congregation, persons who have been castrated are not barred from entry, for the law has been set aside on the basis of Christ's sacrifice. Col 2. 13. 14. Nevertheless, the laws above quoted illustrate God's regard for the reproductive organs and strongly indicate that an operation that would destroy a person's procreative powers simply because he has no appreciation for that gift from God would be wrong. Genital organ. The Hebrew word for flesh basar is used in the scriptures at Leviticus 15. 2, 3 with reference to the man's genital organ, the penis, as separate from the testicles. See clean, cleanness. Compare Isa 57. 8, ftn. The male genital organ was an object of sex worship by pagans in ancient times, as it is today in some countries. Reference may be made at Ezekiel 8. 17 NW, ftn to such worship as infecting the apostate Israelites in Ezekiel's day. Thaddeus Thad Deus. An apostle of Jesus Christ. Mount 10. 2, 3. Mr. 3. 18 He appears to be called elsewhere Judas the son of James. Lu 6. 16. Job 14. 22. Ac 1. 13. See Judas No. 3. Theatre. A structure referred to by the Greeks as the amidalotron where dramatic performances, tragedies, comedies, dances, musical presentations, and spectacles were staged. The theatre was often the scene of immoral presentations, shunned by faithful Christians. F5. 3-5 But it also served as a place of public assembly for other purposes. It was to the theatre in Ephesus that Paul's travelling companions were brought when Demetrius the silversmith stirred up riot against these Christian missionaries. Though the apostle was willing to go before the people assembled in the theatre, the disciples and some friendly commissioners of festivals and games dissuaded him. Act 19. 23-31. Theatres were constructed in Greece from about the 5th century BCE onward, and in time they were built in various principal cities. Most Greek theatres were constructed in semicircular fashion on a hillside of concave formation. The seats might have been made of wood or stone. Aisles separated them into sections, and they were lined up in tiers on the hill's gradual incline. At the center was the or middle khe dancing or chorus area, behind which there was a raised stage backed by ske middle.ne, or background. Ruins of theatres have been found in such places as Ephesus, Athens, and Corinth. The large theatre excavated at Ephesus had 66 rows of seats and could hold an audience of about 25,000 persons. The acoustics were, and still are, so good that even a low voice from the stage can be heard in the topmost row with ease. The Romans frequently constructed theatres as individual buildings dependent upon no natural sloping ground formation. Sometimes their theatres had a roof over the stage and a portion of the seating area. Another type, the Roman amphitheatre, was a roofless circular or oval structure that enclosed a large centre space or arena, from which the seats radiated in tiers. The partially standing Colosseum in Rome, finished in AD CE, is a noted Roman amphitheatre. Herod the Great constructed theatres in various cities, including Damascus and Caesarea. Josephus said that Herod built a theatre in Jerusalem, and after that a very large amphitheatre in the plain. Jewish Antiquities, 15, 268-8, 1. The Greek word diamidal.tron can denote either the place where a show is presented or the theatrical spectacle itself. Paul wrote, "For it seems to me that God has put us the apostles last on exhibition as men appointed to death, because we have become a theatrical spectacle diamidal.tron to the world, and to angels, and to men." 1 Co 4. 9. Paul thus alluded to the customary closing event of Roman gladiatorial contests in the amphitheatre arena, when certain participants were brought out on cladotex to acute miritra longo. Theophilus 1090. His attendant put him to death so that no one could say, "It was a woman that killed him." JG 9. 50-54. 2 Sir 11. 21.